Here we go then with the juniors. They now head their way onto the circuit, ready for their first point scoring action of the weekend. And after all the heats we accumulated the results yesterday, it sees the man on pole position, the wild card this weekend, Tijman van der Helm, who starts there out front. He's the Dutchman. Alongside him is going to have Georgi Dimitrov in kart 1, 2, 3, who had some solid performances from yesterday. Row 2 then lines up with our championship leader, Angus Molesdale. He had a satisfactory day yesterday, but very consistent, which means he grabs third on the grid, and Shaihaw Al-Habsi lines up alongside. Row 3 will then see Evan Spendler, one of the championship contenders here for this weekend, and Chris Lulham, reigning champion, trying to go for the back-to-back in the X30 Junior Euro Series. Row 4 then sees the second man in the championship, which is Enzo Joulet. He's got Matthias Castro Zagazeta alongside. Then back on row number 5 is going to be Ali Akabi with Kai Aski, who had, again, some really good races yesterday, but he struggled in one of them, and that puts him down 10th on the grid. But Kai this weekend has had some tremendous pace in that kart. Row number 6 lines up with Josh Dufek. Alongside him we'll have DJ Leveris. Then on to row number 7, it's going to be Matteo Ingolfo with Leonardo Fornaroli. Row 8 is going to be the Italian, which is Senyu Han, and then Delano Van Toff, who again had a race where he had some poor results, and that has put him down on the grid. But Delano Van Toff this morning, and again the wet conditions really did impress, so watch out for him from lower down on the grid. Row 9 then sees the likes of Sara Tabachi with Louis Delbart. Row 10 will see Kaiser Gibson and Tom Edgar. Row 11 lines up with Jason Ferrate and Senna Eckers, and Daniel Trager round out the grid in kart number 24, so he'll be there towards the tail of the juniors as they now head round on that second formation lap. 12 laps of racing to look forward to. In terms of the championship, Angus Molesdale here this weekend as our championship leader, 241 points. He's had one win so far this year in a final. No pre-final wins though. Is that an omen for him this weekend? Enzo Joulet lies second within the championship. No wins at all in either pre-final or final for him, but consistent season puts him on 225 points. Third in the championship is Evan Spendler. He has 221 points. Again, no wins for him in pre-final or final. But then watch out for Chris Lulham. He's the man who's got the outside shot with better points after the drop scores from Wackersdorf in Germany, which he missed. He lies 7th within the championship, and on drop scores he's on the same points as Angus Molesdale. 12 laps, here we go for the juniors through the final corner, ready to go racing once more here as we get the lights on, and away we go for Tijman van der Helm, who leads the field down towards the first corner. Everyone going to fan out and get themselves the best possible line in towards the first turn. It's going to be very tiptoe for the first couple of corners, then they'll start to spread themselves out and get into good formation. But Tijman van der Helm is the man who leads the way. Second place is going to be that of Georgi Dimitrov. He's done well from the outside of the front row, but look at that, Chris Lulham already up into third position. A storming start from row number 3. Bear in mind that was from the outside of the third row as well, so Chris Lulham has had a tremendous start in this one. Let's see what the rest of the pack can do and how quick Chris Lulham can find himself to the front of the field. He's already looking for second place to try and get past Georgi Dimitrov, but Georgi has that covered for the time being. In fact, now already on the exit, Chris Lulham's through into second place, so a great exit from turn number 9 has put him now ahead of his challenger. So through goes Chris Lulham to second place. How quickly he can get on the tail of the race leader, which is Tijman van der Helm. Yesterday, Chris had 2 wins in the heats. One of those heats was a non-start after, I think, dramas with the tyres. But for now, he's up there in second place. He's storming ahead and trying to catch up with our race leader, Tijman van der Helm, who goes through to lead lap number 1. But this isn't going to be easy for Chris Lulham. He's going to have a lot of battling going on behind him. And, of course, he's going to have to try his best to get past Tijman van der Helm as quick as possible, because the chasing pack are on the way as well. Third place across the line was Georgi Dimitrov. Fourth place through was then Shaihaw Al-Habsi. Fifth place on that time to complete lap number 1 was Matthias Castro Zagazeta. Sixth place for our championship leader. Bad start for Angus Molesdale. He lost 3 places already. He's now trying to make up one of those though as he heads down the back straight alongside Matthias Castro Zagazeta. And Angus Molesdale now moves himself up into 5th place. So already on this lap he's trying to make a few places up, which he is achieving. Behind them in 7th place DJ Leveris. 8th place then for Kai Aski. He had a good start from 10th on the grid. 9th place for Evan Spendler. He's dropped a few from his starting position. And Kaiser Gibson's made up 9 positions on the first lap. From 19th on the grid, Kaiser Gibson's up into 10th place. A storming start from him as well. And he's taking Delano Van Toff with him in 11th position. Through to complete lap number 2. Top 2 are nose to tail across the line. A 10th of a second separate Tijman van der Helm and Chris Lulham surely on this lap. Chris Lulham is going to find his way through. He's looking for the victory and the most points being awarded for the pre-final, which is 34 points. So all over the tail now of Tymon van der Helm is the number 1 machine, reigning champion for the X30 juniors, that being Chris Lullum. He gets a good exit through turn number 6, heading down the back straight, and surely the move is going to come now. The inside line, through he goes, and Chris Lullum takes away the lead of the race in the juniors here in Italy. He goes through, very nicely done indeed. A great exit from turn number 6, a great run down the back straight, and Chris Lullum takes over the lead of the race already. Look at that, pulling away by half a second or so from Tymon van der Helm. Just shows the experience and knowledge and the expertise that we have from Chris Lullum here this year, and of course last year after he wrapped up the championship after the 2 rounds we had in Italy and of course in Spain. In terms of last year, Chris Lullum here got a 5th place in the pre-final, but picked up the win in the final. Can he get both wins here today? Let's have a look as he goes through. He's looking good at the minute as he now leads Tymon van der Helm by just under a second. The battle for 3rd and 4th is coming on strong as well, with Giorgio Dimitrov, and also in there now the likes of Angus Molesdale. Those 2 bunching up together, and Angus needs to get on with the job here. It's a longer race than yesterday, and Angus Molesdale of course needs to get through, challenge Tymon van der Helm, and be right there as well with our race leader. He gets a great run through turn 6. Alongside he goes of Giorgio Dimitrov, and Angus Molesdale now does exactly the same move that Chris Lullum achieved a lap ago. So Angus Molesdale on his way now onto the back of Tymon van der Helm, and I reckon he'll be able to work his way through pretty quickly as well on the back of Tymon as I head down towards turn number 10. Been a further change as Tymon runs slightly wide there onto the white line, so he nearly lost that place completely off the track, but he just manages to save it. He's running very wide though, and he lets go through now Angus Molesdale, so no hesitation whatsoever. I think Tymon is very clever to know that this is a championship fight this weekend. He's here for practice for next weekend as Tymon comes through in 3rd place now, struggling slightly there on the exit curve as they went through the final corner, but Tymon now lets through the likes of Angus Molesdale and sets his sights on probably a 3rd place finish here. He can defend from Giorgio Dimitrov. I'm sure he'll be happy with that, and he'll be starting then on the inside of row 2 for the final. Quickest man on circuit, look at that. Angus Molesdale in 2nd place with a pass as well. He's done a 59.324. He's only just behind Chris Lullum, so I reckon Chris Lullum may have made a mistake on the end of that lap. Let's have a look as they head their way down. A great fight going on for the lead here. 400ths of a second is what separate the top 2. They're heading their way down towards the hairpin at turn at number 10. Try and pick it up out the window, and I think there's been a change possibly. Yes, Angus Molesdale has gone through to the lead, so off camera Angus Molesdale now takes up the race lead. Off the track goes number 8, which is the Zagazeta machine, which was down in 5th place, now dropping a lot lower after Kayaski, and also going through there is Shihab Al-Habsi, but through this time is going to be Angus Molesdale for the race lead. He comes through across the line. Cart number 23 leads the way. He's going to do it by 1.6 seconds. What is wrong with Chris Lullum? Has he got a problem with that cart? It's not going as quick as it once was, and is he going to be caught by Tymon van der Helm? I'm not too sure at all, but that is really, really strange for Chris Lullum. He was going so well, but it's something that seems to be a little bit awry with that cart at the minute. Let's see if it suffers on this lap. Last time through, Chris did a 1 minute 0.8, whereas Angus Molesdale has just gone through to do a 58.527. So Angus Molesdale has really upped the game here. Again, the championship turns on its head just when Angus Molesdale looked to be down and out in 6th place. Chris Lullum was out front, but all of a sudden Angus Molesdale has found something, some confidence within that car. He now leads the race by 3.2 seconds. Chris Lullum, so this is a cracking race for the juniors. More action happening here between the likes of, who we got in this battle, number 43, which is Shihab Al-Habsi. We've also got in there as well Kayaski, I think, who's just gone through into 5th position, and then behind them we've got the Zagazeta and Delano Van Toff machine, which is moving through the field very nicely indeed. That is the number 17 machine, which is on the tail of these 3 carts as they head across the line. In fact, no, it's now ahead of it, so Delano Van Toff has gone through into 6th place. Behind them is Shihab Al-Habsi. DJ Leveris has dropped down to 8th. Matthias Castro Zagazeta is 9th. And Evan Spendler sits there in 10th place. This is a 5 or 6 way fight for a place with inside the top 10. Best lap now goes to Ali Akabi, who sits down in 11th place. So he's just on the tail of this battle as well. So Ali Akabi picking up pretty much a triple toe as they head down the straights, which may have just aided him to get the quickest lap of the race. In towards the hairpin, they go 3 wide there, and there's going to be contact surely. Yet one goes off the track as they venture through the grass, and that one that we have lost through turn number 8 is the 43 machine, I think, just dropping down there. So down the field drops the Shihab Al-Habsi machine. What a shame for him. He now finds himself a long way down and he's not going to feature with inside the points, inside the top 10, which is a real shame. But here we go, more action, more pushing going on here. Enzo Julier has found himself a little bit further down, 12th position at the minute. Enzo Julier is one of those who's challenging for the championship, and he now has got a few problems as well. Just features outside the top 10. There's been further changes out front. 3rd, 4th and 5th have changed because Kayaski has come through past both Georgi Dimitrov, and also he's got himself past that man there, Tymon van der Helm. So there's been massive change towards the front. Kayaski is on a charge here this weekend. He's done very well. The results haven't really shown that, but he has been a very quick man in the junior category. So Kayaski is now right on the tail of Chris Lullen by the looks of it. So Chris is under attack here. 2.7 seconds the gap was. In fact, no, that's the other two. I apologise. Kayaski and Georgi Dimitrov are the two together. It's Chris Lullen who's out 2.5 seconds down the road from that battle. Someone else was off the track there on the exit of turn number 10. So action aplenty in this junior field. Good scrap going on here between Ali Akabi, now working his way through, taking with him Enzo Julier. As across the line goes our second place man, Chris Lullen. There's the fight for third, which now features Kayaski as our third place man, and 1, 2, 3 is that of Georgi Dimitrov. So those two run together. Then you've got Tymon van der Helm now, who slipped down into 5th position. He's about 1.3 seconds adrift at the minute in 5th place. Ali Akabi sits 6th. We've got Enzo Julier making his way up to 7th. Delano Van Toff is 8th. Leonardo Fornaroli is 9th. And 10th place at the minute, Jason Ferrate, another man who's made up many places in this race. He's come from 21st on the grid, now gets himself inside the top 10. Currently on lap number 9, that very shortly to be completed by Angus Molesdale, who's coming down to the final corner. And we're going to see him through very, very shortly. Angus goes through on to lap number 10 this time round. Kart number 23 leads by 13.5 seconds. That is a very impressive turn of speed for Angus Molesdale. I don't think he's the only one on slick tyres, because I think everyone has gone for slicks by the looks of it. Let's have a look and see what many of the front runners are on. In fact, he may be only one of the only ones out front on slick tyres. I'm just wondering if Chris Lullen and Kayaski have gone for the wet tyres. It's going to be interesting to see when they slow down, if we can get a good glimpse of the 2nd and 3rd place men and see what tyres they ran with. Because it looks to me like they have gone for wets, which may have been a big struggle, and the reason they've dropped down 15 seconds behind the leader, Angus Molesdale. But we'll try and have a look at that after the race has come to a close. Meantime, this fight continues for what's going to be 13th and 14th places. A change there as through goes the machine of Senna Eckers, moves ahead of Matthias Castro Zagazeta. Leader through once more then, so Angus Molesdale now goes on to lap number 11. This is the fight happening a little bit further down the field, and that is still the fight between 12th and 13th as they work their way down in towards the hairpin at turn number 11. You've got Delano Van Toff just up ahead of them, and Tymon van der Helm is now starting to struggle as well. He's dropped down into 10th position for some reason, so Tymon van der Helm is on wet tyres by the looks of it, so I think he's gone for the gamble, which hasn't paid off, so they didn't quite get the chosen tyres right this time round. So Tymon van der Helm is slipping down. Chris Lullen now also slipping down, because both Enzo Julier on slick tyres has gone through to 2nd. Also moving through as well is Ali Akabi. He's just made the change back as well. So the fight for 2nd is where we need to be looking. That's where all the action is so far as we wait for Angus Molesdale to come through. There's one of the runners towards the tail of the field. But here comes Angus in towards the final corner. On towards the start-finish line to start last lap. And as Angus goes through, let's now see if we can get the fight for 2nd place, which is Ali Akabi, and then 3rd place, which is Enzo Julier. Those two separated by 0.3 of a second, and that could all be a dramatic close to the end of the race. But Angus Molesdale on this last lap, he's done a tremendous job. He leads by over 15 seconds in this race. He got the tyre choice right. I think Chris Lullen's fallen even further back now. Yeah, he's struggling massively on wet tyres, and this is going to be a real change within the championship. Just shows how much it can all unravel if you don't get the right tyres on those karts. Ali Akabi is now the quickest man at 55.725, but Angus Molesdale, what a drive this has been. He's almost going to lap some of the rear gunners here, which is unheard of really, but at the minute Angus Molesdale is on a charge, heading up towards the final corner. The checker flag is in hand, and kart number 23 is about to come through to take the checker flag as Angus Molesdale picks up the pre-final win, which is a crucial win for the deciding championship event this weekend. Angus Molesdale comes through. He's going to be head and shoulders above everybody else. Those who come through in 2nd and 3rd will be 2 competitors on slick tyres as well. Here comes Ali Akabi in 2nd. What a performance that has been for him as well. 3rd place for Enzo Julio. Fourth place will then be Jason Ferrate, who was on slick tyres towards the end. Jason Tufek comes through in 5th. 6th place goes away with Leonardo Fornaroli, and Kai Askey with Chris Lullum, the reigning champion, finishing only in 8th position. What a disappointing run that was for a man who started in 6th place. Very quick away from the line, but when it all come to a close, he was the man who lost out pretty big indeed. But Angus Molesdale for Fusion Motorsport, a very happy man, wins by just under 15 seconds. Ali Akabi for Dan Holland Racing, his best performance of the season, in 2nd. Enzo Juliet comes through in 3rd, the Frenchman. 4th place then for Jason Ferrate. Behind him we saw Josh Dufek. 6th place making up places throughout that race was the Italian Leonardo Fornaroli. 7th place then for Kai Askey. He did a good job from 10th on the grid. 8th place goes away with Chris Lullum, drops 2 places, but of course, remember he was running right towards the head of the field in 1st place, but Chris Lullum drops down to 8th position, and that's going to be a real disappointing result for him. 9th place and making up 13 positions was Senna Eckers, and 10th place goes the way of Timon van der Helm, again another man who was on, I reckon, wet tyres. So a mixed bag there. There's wet tyres you can see on the number 13 machine. Chris Lullum also went with wet tyres. You can see the groove down the middle of the tyre, which is the indication that they are the wet tyres. There are the slicks going through the picture, and the rest of the field heading their way in. There goes the number 17 machine on wet tyres, which was the kart of Delano Van Toff, so he also dropped down. In fact, he was down the field anyway, but didn't make up too many positions. Finished off in 14th place. But yeah, real mixture there from what we saw from the X30 Minis, who pretty much all went for slick tyres. In terms of the juniors, they decided to go for a mix of